Christian Audio presents A Christian's Quick Guide to Islam, Revised Edition, by Patrick Sookhdeo. Narrated by Ralph Lister. Preface. The purpose of this book is to outline the beliefs, practices, and history of the religion of Islam, in order to help Christians and other non-Muslims to understand their Muslim friends and neighbours. Although Islam and Christianity seem to have certain points of doctrine in common, there is an enormous difference between them, not only in beliefs about salvation and Christ, but also in many other areas affecting daily life and attitudes. This difference in worldviews can all too easily lead to misunderstanding between Muslims and non-Muslims. My hope is that this book will help non-Muslims who would like to have a good relationship with Muslim neighbours or colleagues to be aware of some of the assumptions and convictions that a Muslim is likely to hold. Armed with this knowledge, the non-Muslim can avoid creating some unnecessary stumbling blocks and difficulties in communicating with their Muslim friends. Within Islam, there are many variations, just as within Christianity. A short audiobook like this must generalize and simplify, so the listener should not be surprised if their Muslim friend takes a different stance on certain minor areas. Many things are written and said about Islam in our day. Not all of them are true. Our approach should also be characterized by accuracy in everything. We must not misrepresent Islam or accuse Muslims of beliefs and practices that are not theirs. Furthermore, we must remember always that Muslims are people, ordinary human beings like ourselves, with the joys, sorrows, fears, and anxieties that we ourselves experience. We must be filled with the compassion of Christ, compelled by his love. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 14. Yet we must also be completely faithful to Christ and his teachings. We cannot alter, bend, or dilute his teachings in any way. Patrick Sookhdeo, November 2009. Chapter 1. The Origins of Islam. The word Islam means submission. That is, submission to Allah. A Muslim is a person who has submitted. The religion arose in the Arabian Peninsula in the early 7th century, but it is said by Muslims to have been the religion of all the prophets from Adam to Muhammad. Before the coming of Islam, Arabia was dominated by Arab-speaking pagan tribes who worshipped numerous gods. Living amongst the pagan Arabs were communities of Jews who had settled in various trading cities, bringing with them their rabbis, scriptures, and synagogues. There were also a number of Christian communities. Pagan Arabs could thus gain some knowledge, albeit probably distorted, of Christian and Jewish beliefs. Arabia was sandwiched between the two superpowers of the time. To the west lay the Christian Byzantine Empire, and to the east lay the Zoroastrian Persian Empire. The two empires were engaged in a long-running armed conflict with each other. In western Arabia lay the prosperous town of Mecca, an important trading center famous for a pagan shrine called the Kaaba. This cube-like building was the center of a cult of sacred stones, including the Black Stone, said to have come from heaven, which was built into the eastern corner of the Kaaba. The Kaaba was a center of annual pilgrimage for tribes throughout Arabia. In later Muslim thought, these pre-Islamic times were called the Age of Ignorance, Jahiliyyah, and were despised as barbaric, immoral, and idolatrous. Muhammad. His early life. The earliest accounts of Muhammad's life were written at least 150 years after his death. All the sources are Muslim, and there is no external, that is, non-Muslim, supporting evidence. According to these sources, Muhammad was born in Mecca in AD 570 or 571, a few months after the death of his father, Abdullah. His family, though poor, belonged to the respected Quraysh tribe that had custody of the Kaaba. His mother, Amina, died when he was 6, and the little boy
Sample complete. Ready to continue?